What's up YouTube, Dal here from Safa War Games, bringing you another live duel from locals. So I joined this one a little bit late, but as you can see, Rainbow Bridge has been activated. This would have got Bonds, a normal summon of Sapphire Pegasus, and that has been met with an Imperm. So now that we are caught up, I will just give you the lowdown. On the top, we have Tom, who is playing Crystal Beast, returning to the game after a bit of a hiatus. And at the bottom, we have I would say a fresh player. It's David. He's basically been... he's been coming to locals for quite a while now, about a year or so, and he's definitely developed as a player, so it's really nice to kind of see basically someone from the start of their journey and then where they are now. So obviously he's started to develop. He's now playing Salamangreats, and he's been doing really, really well with it, hence being on the feature table. So I believe both these duelists are currently 2-1 out of a 5-round tournament, and going from there. So we activated the... Rainbow Dragon that lets you summon one from the deck. He summoned out the Topaz Tiger. Tom's kind of playing... I wouldn't say it's pure Conclave control, and I wouldn't say that it's full-on combo, but he does play like the Rainbow Engine, which is obviously Rainbow Dragon plus Topaz Tiger, Carbuncle, and Cat. I'm not sure if he plays the Tortoise or the other ones, but I think he might be playing ones of each of them. It does obviously contain Conclave, and it also contains the Counter Trap as well of Miracle. And he's basically just explained to his opponent how he's activated the new bridge card, which will allow him to kind of continue to make plays. So the idea behind this Crystal Beast version is, again, it's quite like Conclave control, but rather than burning through in the grind game. So I had a conversation with Tom. I was like, you know, I quite like the Conclave control, but he made a very valid point, and I have found this through testing that second Imperm, woof, through Conclave control, you can burn through your resources. So if your opponent is able to outlast the grind game, they're able to pretty much deal with it. If they can't, then obviously you will win. He does play the Mammoth, so I will assume that he is playing at least one of each of the others, and 3 Pegasus with a Ruby Carbuncle, and then the mixture of the spells and traps. It's really cool that the deck can be played both control and combo, which I really, really like. So he's gone for Miracle there, which is the counter trap. It also, funnily enough, quite reminds me of Salamangreats. And what I mean by that is the deck has natural, you know, if you compare Conclave to Raw, and you can compare Miracle to Rage, and then you compare, not simplistic, I'm not saying that it's low brain power, but I mean, puts a Bagooska on the board. It's kind of... Oh, and Necro Valley. Cool. No spinny for you, David, I'm afraid. It is kind of cool to see that it can adapt. It can be both versions. I feel that the combo line just gets interrupted way too much. Like, if he was going combo line, he hit 2 Imperms, he probably wouldn't be getting far. Whereas this has been able to eat up 2 Imperms, still get a Bagooska, still get a counter trap, and then he's also got the Rainbow Bridge as well, so that's going to give him the ability to bounce a card when he negates with the counter trap. So he gets the best of both, which is really, really cool. So Dave's just reading the bridge card now. Again, I'll put all these cards up on the screen so you can read them along with us, and you can see exactly what they do. This will be less so with like new cards from Darkwind Blast, but you'll be able to see how there's forms of interruption, there's forms of searching, there's forms of just consistently searching. It's absolutely crazy. That's Tom providing his opponent with an updated text for Necro Valley, because obviously it looks like he's got I think it's like structure deck, the Gravekeeper structure deck, which is so long ago. Yeah, and then keeping in mind we do get the new Battles of Legend, which is like, I think it's like Crystal something, and it will provide the Dark Crystal Beasts. Some of them are good, like the Ruby Carbuncle and the Pegasus, but the chances are they'll be buried. And then I'm hoping that in that set, because there'll be a bit of space, they might upgrade all of the Crystal Beast cards. I mean, personally, that's what I would do. I would start turning, obviously, apart from Topaz Tiger and Pegasus, sorry, that are already ulties, you could probably start upgrading the Ruby Carbuncles and the Cat, and I mean, knowing Konami, the chances are what they'll do is they'll upgrade like 1 or 2 of them to be ultras or secrets, and then the rest will stay as their supers. So, and I believe Tom was saying that like the supers for the mammoth, the turtle, and the cat were all like crazy expensive for like super. I think it was like £10 to £15 for a super. It came in like a collection set a few years ago. Anyway, David's been able to go Balinks. I'm not too sure what happened to the parallel there. Maybe he discarded it. Just trying to see what the obviously normal summon Buffalo go into Balinks, Buffalo effect to draw 2. So I'm assuming he drew 2 and then ditched 1. Oh, he's got another parallel. That'll be why. Fine. Unfortunately for David, that will get shifted to defense through Baguska and negate its effect. So yeah, he won't get the second parallel from. Like I said, David's kind of new to this, so he won't be as familiar with some of the older cards. The best thing about Baguska is I think you can still play around with it going into links, which is obviously David's strengths. It looks like he's got a Rage and a Ash in the hand, so I'm assuming he drew the Ash at some point, otherwise he probably would have dropped it last turn. He's unable to move any cards from the graveyard, so the fact that he had to relink the Balinks into... Oh, that wouldn't... Did he draw 2? He must have drawn like Ash for turn and then 2 parallels off of the... off of the Buffalo, which is painful. Yeah, this is where the Crystal Beast deck can start to really gain advantage, though, because being able to control under Baguska, you don't really worry about the front row too much. And then you're able to constantly start looping the bridge. The bridge can start bouncing your opponent's cards. You can start gaining Conclave's control. You can start gaining miracles off the back of it as well. So he's going to normal summon the Tiger. The Tiger's going to get... sorry, not Tiger. The Cat. The Cat's going to get shifted into defense. He's then going to activate the Rainbow Bridge. This will let him pop the Cat. I'm assuming he's going to pop the Cat to search. There's the Ash. So that's going to stop that happening. He would have attempted to pop the Cat. The Cat would have bounced the back row and then go from there. I think David's... if he's got Rage, he's doing okay. Because I think... if he's able to link up into Sunlight Wolf, the Rage will give him a pop 2, which is quite cool and important. Depends what he worries about most. But then again, as soon as he flips that, it's going to be met with a Miracle. And he's obviously got to be careful, because if he activates a monster effect of a high level monster, or like a link 2 or 3 monster, and it gets Miracled, he's going to have next to nothing left. So... that's the issue he has at the moment, is trying to clear the board off. He's going to activate this now. I would highly imagine that this is going to get met by the Miracle, because I'm surprised he's only decided to try and pop 1. Personally, he could have gone... because he's just going to give Tom so much advantage now. So he activates Miracle. Miracle pops the Cat. Because the Cat hit the spell and trap card zone, the bridge will then trigger. The bridge will then allow it to add the bridge back to the hand and bounce 1 card to David controls. So probably the Balinks. Yeah. So, I mean, he could have gone into Wolf. Wolf could have then... you could have relinked the Wolf and started to regain some of your advantage. Oh, no, because you can't even remove from the graveyard because of Necro Valley. That's probably why he didn't do Wolf then. I mean, the other option is that you could have tried to go Wolf, reincarnate Wolf. Obviously, he's being told that you need 2 fires for it, sadly. So he's going to have to go into a Balinks. Still... is it a level 4? I'm not sure if it's still a level 4. I can't remember if Baguska negates activated effects or negates its effects. If it negates its effects, it's a level 8. If it negates activated effects, it's a level 4. It's not activated to make it a level 4. So I think they're saying that it's still a level 8, so he can't go into Balinks, or he can. He can. Okay, fine. There we go. let them sort themselves out. And then he's obviously going to be able to go into Wolf. And now, I mean, in theory, his Wolf is now free to go off. So baiting out with the Rage is okay. But annoyingly, he can't recycle any of his materials from the graveyard. So, I mean, maybe you try to go for Heatleo in the previous play. Maybe you'd go Link all 3 into Heatleo and then get met. No, because then if you get met by the counter trap, it just ends it all there, doesn't it? I don't know. I think it was a tough position to deal with. Like, trying to deal with that Miracle was really, really bad. Like, the only thing David could have possibly imagined to have would have been to get a Rage and a Roar, and then you sit on that, and then as soon as your opponent tries to Miracle you, you Rage them back, Roar them back, and then go from there. Obviously, the last turn for Bagooska, otherwise the next turn is going to self-destruct itself. So obviously, Tom doesn't feel that he needs to keep his opponent locked under the Bagooska. So he's going to be able to switch that to attack, which is going to allow him to start using his own monster effects. I'm not too sure. Again, apologies for the glare. I can't really control too much of that. I'm assuming that's the Rainbow Bridge of the Heart. So he's going to put Pegasus into the spell and trap zone. He's going to search out. The quick play spells are nuts, because the quick play spells, once you've got the Rainbow Dragon, it's just free real estate every single turn. So he's going to bounce the Sunlight Wolf because of the effect of the Rainbow Bridge of the Heart, because Pegasus went into the spell and trap zone. He's going to play the quick play. That's going to allow him to reveal Rainbow Dragon, which he would have had since turn 1, because he got it off of the Crystal Rainbow. And then that's just going to be able to let him go mad. So he special summons one from the deck, which is Ruby Carbuncle. That's going to allow him to special summon as many from the spell and trap zone as possible, which is obviously going to be Pegasus and Cat. Pegasus will then equip one from the deck to the spell and trap zone. He's already got Woolly Mammoth in the graveyard. He's got the Cat, so I think the only other one is the Tortoise, which is the one that he's put there. Oh no, sorry, that's is it Cobalt Sparrow? Yeah, I believe so. He's going into Cherubini, that's right, so you put the 2 level 3s together. This will put the final one to the graveyard. So this will put the Tortoise, yeah, there you go. And now he's got the capabilities to pretty much get Rainbow Dragon to the board. I'm trying to think, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There comes Rainbow Dragon. I think Rainbow Dragon guarantees game. I think is he just under? So 18, 21... 3k? No, it's 3 or 4k from Rainbow Dragon. Might even be more. Again, you can tell that I'm not a Crystal Beast player, so I do apologise for that. But yeah, I think ultimately he's going to lead to game. There's going to be no resource where his opponent can come back from that and really do much. So I will, once they start doing a bit of the siding, I will skip forward. So don't worry about the change of timer at the bottom. Luckily, we didn't miss too much at the start. Yeah, so Rainbow Dragon's 4k. Yeah, I couldn't remember if it was 4, 3 or 5. Ooh, too many boss monsters in the game. Yeah, so that was an interesting display. Again, like I said, I feel that both the decks are relatively similar in what they do, and the play style. Like, they both rely on back row and front row, and needing to control specific front row to trigger the best of the back row, which I think is really, really kind of cool. So they're going to side it up. I mean, for Salamangreats, you obviously put in Nibiru. For Crystal Beasts, arguably, you could put in Nibiru as well, because, I mean, it'll be a little bit risky, but you'd be looking at 2 level 4s. I mean, in the first turn, Tom went through 2 level 4s, 3 level 4s, and then Bagooska, so maybe he plays just under Nibiru. I think the deck can play under Nibiru a lot better than Salamangreats. So, I think you'd probably put in Nibiru. Looks like Dave's going to go first on this one, no surprise there. He's going to activate Foxy. He reveals Foxy. Wow, that's broth. So good. So he revealed Jackalope, Foxy, and then Rage. Rage, and he added the Rage to the hand. That's pretty darn good. Unfortunately for David, though, he seems to have a knack for just opening up the field spell. So it'll be interesting to see what he does. So he's going to activate Spinny's effect to ditch for the Foxy, and then Spinny's effect to come back from the grave. That's obviously a great start to have. If he makes Sunlight Wolf now, it means he's opened up the field spell, which I feel sorry for him. Because he just does it every time. Like, literally, he's glued to his hand. Going for Mirage Stalio instead. Stalio, detach, bring out Jag. Should really be the ideal play, I believe. But yeah, I think this is where you need to be quite fearful of Nibiru, and that kind of comes with a bit of experience as well, more so facing it. and he probably wanted to make sure that Spinny goes to the grave. So here comes searching out. Okay, so he special summons out Gazelle. Gazelle's going to give him the nice Foolish Burial. I'm assuming he's going to try and set up Rage Roar, like protection combo. He's still got Sunlight Wolf's play here. Sending Jackalope. Okay. Again, without knowing what the rest of his hand is, he could pretty much be opening up the cards I'm not saying that he might send and might not send. So it'll be really interesting to kind of see where he's planning to go with this. And if Tom's opened up Nibiru, if Tom even sided in a Nibiru. Back row's obviously always going to be back row outs evenly, stuff like that is always going to be required to deal with this type of deck, because they just like the fact they've got graveyard protection is a pain in the backside, and then everything else. Okay, so we're gonna Gazelle into Balinks now. Is he gonna search for the field spell? He is! Woohoo! He did not open the field spell. Good. Yeah, fine. He just seems to always open it. It's like he plays free, but I know for a fact he definitely doesn't play free. Okay. But yeah, bless him, he always opens it. Still no interruption from Tom yet. I mean, do you stop them getting the field spell? I suppose you kind of do, because then they don't get any relinks. So if they try to go Sunlight Wolf, which is, I'm assuming the plan would be here, you're then not able to What's he doing? You can't do that. There we go. That's the one. We put Spinny back. Ooh, okay, that's interesting. Wonder where he's going with this, because surely you could have put Mirage Stalio and Balinks into Wolf, relink Wolf, and then jag back the Wolf. So unless he's trying to build for a bigger play, I can't understand why he's trying to keep that Mirage on the board. Activate the field spell. Field spell's going to relink Sunlight Wolf. Yeah, because then you could have triggered Jag's effect, and you could have added the Gazelle back to hand. Maybe that's just inexperience. And hopefully, if he's watching this along, obviously it's not a criticism. It's just a note to remember that's. I'm not saying I'm a professional Salamangreats player, because I haven't played the deck very much recently. But yeah, I feel that could have been done a little bit differently, unless he really wanted to keep the Mirage Stalio. Yeah, there's a Nibiru. Oh, that's so sad. Bar holding back a cross-out designator, which I don't think he plays. There is no out to this. Oh, dear. Sorry, David. It just happens. It just happens. Oof. Big oof. Yeah. Oh, well. Again, it is what it is. It's just such a powerful kind of counter to the deck. Like, the fact it literally just gives them a Nibiru and then shuts off all the spells and traps in one go. It's insane. So, definitely looking in Tom's favour. He's now got a 3k beat monster on the board. The defense of the token is minuscule. He's got to make sure it doesn't get switched to attack, which means it'll probably get killed this turn anyway. Bar imperms, there's nothing that you really need to worry about at the graveyard. And that's probably a reason why you also want to do the Jag play, because then you'll gain back resource. Should you survive to move into the next turn, you'll then be able to, continue some plays and not just be hunting for resource. So you've got the Sapphire Pegasus, that's going to come down. Now, David impermed this a couple of times last duel. Ash? Nope, can't Ash. Can't Ash that. Because it sets it to the spell and trap zone, it doesn't add it. So if he flips a back row, we know it's an imperm. I mean, I think Tom's experienced enough that he shouldn't be putting the Crystal Beast in any of the spell and trap zones that are currently occupied. Yeah, there you go. If you stop that Pegasus, where does it go? Well, I mean, now that Tom knows he's got an Ash, this one's going to be interesting, because this one's specials one from the deck. So you know by fact that this should be Ashed. Yeah, there you go. There's the Ash. Oh, hang on. He's trying to draw as well. He hasn't added. That's the issue. Yeah. Okay. It's understanding the game state, unfortunately. But, you learn these things. Wait. Hold your horses, David. You're too trigger happy. Let him add from Rainbow Bridge first, bro, and then droll him. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, do you change your play? Would you always go for Miracle? I'm not sure. I'm not saying that would you always go for Miracle? I suppose no. I reckon you'd probably go for the Rainbow Bridge of the Heart, because then the Rainbow Bridge of the Heart would allow you to get to Miracle. So I'd go Rainbow Bridge of the Heart, and then obviously without if Tom didn't know that he had Droll, the play would have been to get Rainbow Bridge of the Heart, activate Rainbow Bridge of the Heart, put Pegasus into the spell and trap zone after you've declared an attack, so in main phase 2, and then search you out a Miracle. He's obviously got Conclave and the Miracle, so very, very sadly, this is not looking good for David. The Nibiru, and then Conclave that's going to give him the ability to disrupt whatever David puts on the board. Oh, Duster, that is definitely going to get met by the counter trap. Yeah. Oh, sorry, David. I mean, you had the out, but his opponent had the out too. He's then going to get Conclave. It's so good once you've set up the control with it. I think Tom might have been in a little bit more trouble should David, should he have not gotten Nibiru? I think Nibiru has kind of really put this game to bed, because now it's literally Tom's going to have all the control and David's going to have, sadly, none. I mean, if he does get a Salamangreat on the board, he's not really got anything that's going to stop him raging that board. But this is the issue. Like, if you kept Gazelle and did didn't even worry about Mirage Stalio, then you'd probably be in a much better resource position right now. But again, learning experiences. That's all this is. This is just learn from those so you don't repeat them. I think it's a bit of history. I think it's like Albert Einstein was like, the definition of insanity is doing something over and over again with the same result, expecting a different result. So anyway, so yeah, that looks like a game. Oh my god, he did have Rage and Roar. Yo, if he was able to set that up and keep that up, that would have been donezo. Yeah, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Again, it's something a little bit different. It's different from, hey, look, it's Sprite Runic versus Tier Elements, or Tier Elements versus Tier. We will do a Castria. I do have a Castria duel with a Tier duel, so you get that as well. But yeah, I thought this would be a break from the normal, and you guys would enjoy it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. Till next time, guys, as absolutely always, stay safe, and of course, happy dueling.
Yeah.